I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the night before traveling, I'm always up just like way later than I should be. It's 11:05 right now. Um, Ended up taking calls a bit later tonight um, than I wanted to, but both were very, very necessary. One conversation with the client to hash out some logistics, and another with a great friend of mine to just talk and have a good time and just, you know, strengthen the relationship, which is one thing that I took away from today. I wasn't planning on jumping right into this or even really jumping into it at all inside of this video today, but I was hanging with my buddy Cam Russell yesterday and today, and today we got into a bit of like let's see if this stays up. Got into a bit of like deep conversation about relationships and life outside of business, because it's very easy to talk about business all the time and like, oh, you know, what moves we're making financially, and you know, how are we scaling, what's the org chart look like, how are we bringing in leads. It's a very like logical singular path of conversation. But when it comes to relationships, both with family, women, and friends, it's a much more of a like gray topic, because it's not like black and white. It's like logic versus emotion. And I was telling him, I was like, I don't think I could ever be with someone who like wants to watch TV shows. Like, I said, what do you mean watch TV shows? Like, what am I gonna do? Spend my time watching TV shows? But the shit that has to get done. And he was like, well, it's not necessarily the TV show that is the value that you're watching. It's spending the time with the person because it's important to them and strengthening that bond and relationship. And I was not taken, I don't think taken back is the right term for it, but it took me a moment to just like process that. I was like, oh wow. So it's okay to do things, but it's not like, oh, I will only do this with somebody if it's something that's productive, as opposed to, okay, we're just gonna do it. Just you might be something that I normally wouldn't do, but I'm going to do it because I want to hang out with the person and I care about strengthening a relationship with that person. So that was a huge takeaway from our chat today. So Cam, if you see this, bro, shout out, dude. That was one of the things that I took away. And I had a conversation with a good friend of mine and mentor of mine tonight, where, I mean, I'd objectively not like an insanely productive conversation in terms of like ball moving and projects for like an hour call past my bedtime. I still have to pack. I'm leaving tomorrow morning. But I now feel good because it's like that was an hour invested in strengthening an important relationship, as opposed to like, oh, I took an hour on the call, wasn't being productive. Like, no, there's an hour invested in an important relationship. So that was one big takeaway. Catching up on messages and video reviews. There's still like 30 videos I need to review. That's going to be the next kind of next hire. So the big strategic thing that's happening is, what does the org chart look like? So like building the ideal organizational chart, and then it's obviously okay if some people fill multiple roles right now. So this is like the $10 million agency organizational chart. And then we have like director of fulfillment, director of sales, director of media, and it's like Danny. But like, you know what the roles are, what the scorecard is for each role. And then when it comes time to hire for that person, then you're ready to go. That being said, the thing that I was planning on jumping on and talking about today was integrity and not ever selling out. Now, I think that it's very important to like get yours, you know, put your oxygen mask on before trying to help others. But I think that there's a certain point, and always should be, remaining in integrity, because if you do too many things that are out of alignment with yourself, you lose yourself and you're not actually a person. Like, you don't know who you are, because you can be bought and you can be sold out into money. So money can get you to do just about anything. So I think it's important to exercise when there's things that like, okay, this isn't a relationship that I think is as in alignment with me as it could be. I want to spend my time doing things that are in alignment, and money is not going to change that. And there were a few conversations I had to have recently that was the outcome. And you leave a lot of money on the table. Obviously sucks, but I think that the congruence and alignment in exchange for that is a more than fair trade-off. So my encouragement today would be to, no matter what you're doing inside of your life, maintain an integrity at all times, because it'll allow you to have that alignment and to show up as your best self without having to think and put on a face or put on a facade. It's just you are. A mentor of mine defined the word congruence as thoughts match words match actions. The way that I define it is that you are the same person across the board. So like, I'm the same person in this YouTube video that I show up for my team like, that I show up for my friends like, that I show up for my family like. I'm the same person for my mom, my brother, my clients, my team, my family, my dog, and myself in the mirror. That's what congruence is to me. And I think the more that you do things for money that you don't necessarily believe in, the more out of alignment you become, the less congruent you become, and the more you start to question yourself, question your self-confidence. Because I am also a believer that self-confidence is built when you keep the promises that you make to yourself. Now, I made a promise that I'll be up at 5 a.m. every single day, local time regardless, and it is now 11:10 p.m. I haven't even started packing. Clothes are still drying. There's still a lot of work to get done in a pretty solid inbox. So this YouTube video is one of the things that we are getting done, but I also enjoy doing. Next video will come at us from back in New York. It's the first ever video back home, so it will be pretty cool to do that. Excited to head back home and see family. I haven't been back in New York since the beginning of June. I think it was, last time I left for, it was June 5th, I left for Arizona, and then that weekend went to Brazil, and then the week after that went to Alaska. I haven't been home since then. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm going to be very excited for that. That's what's on tap for tomorrow, so it's very important the inbox and pie get cleared tonight. And I don't think it matters how tired I am. I think it just has to get done. So I'm going to get to work, and I'll see you tomorrow.